She said, something's just come in, a collection. I was like, okay. So I went in the back and this is what I found.
What you know about retro ghetto, collecting and playing retro. Lock into the retro ghetto.
Hi everybody and welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. It's 2022 and let's be honest, it's very expensive to collect games nowadays. To amass a collection like this, especially a retro video game collection, it's no longer cheap, there's no getting around it. But I'm out hunting every single day. And when I say every single day, I mean every single day. In charity shops. I'm constantly hearing people saying there's no games in charity shops anymore, or thrift stores depending on where you are in the world. I know that's not the truth, because I'm out doing it. I often allude to the fact that in my pickups videos that I'm not going to show everything I find in charity shops because it does tend to just go to CEX and a lot of it's not overly exciting. But what I've decided to do is film my hunting over a 2-week period just to give you guys an insight into how I amass the collection behind me. I often get asked in the comments, are you rich? I am not rich. This is how I do it. It's consistency. I'm hunting every single day. And the way we're going to equate how much money I make on this 2-week period is we're going to look at what I paid against what CEX give me in terms of voucher form, i.e. credit. The reason being, I could do it the eBay way, using eBay sold listings, but it's not going to be a completely accurate reflection. And also, this is what I do. The vast majority of stuff which doesn't end up on my shelves does go to CEX's trading value. So I thought that was the best way to do it, and it's more black and white to give you an exact figure of what I paid and what we've ended up with at the end. Also, there's a few games in here that you guys might be surprised hold a bit of value. Some games are easily overlooked, so hopefully you'll be able to keep an eye out for these when you're on your own game hunting adventures. And as I say guys, this is filmed over a 2-week period. I think actually it's like 13 days. I started it the day after my last pickups video, and it ended this morning on the day of filming this. This is the last time I found something. So yeah, just so you guys are aware, this is over a 13-day period. We're going to call it 2 weeks.
Retro ghetto.
Okay, so day one of doing this, and I was actually in Leicestershire visiting family. Now, there was a charity shop there, and it had like these big boxes of what was predominantly DVDs outside. There was 1 or 2 games. I popped my head in, and I said to the woman, have you got any video games? And she said, no, everything's out there. I said, how much? Because there was no price. She said it was 10 DVDs for £1. I mean, 10 for £1, right? I mean, people can't give DVDs away. Sometimes you'll find with charity shops, it all just gets amalgamated into one. And this was one of those occasions. There was a couple of games in there, and this is what I managed to pick up. First thing that you'll see there was Smackdown vs. Raw 2008. Don't overlook this one. There's no value on the Wii, PlayStation 2, or the PlayStation 3. But the Xbox 360 version gives £5 trading credit currently at CEX. Then we're looking at Paw Patrol on a Roll. I wanted to highlight this one because I found 3 of these now across PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. They all retain value. This was Xbox One and it's £13 trading currently. This is, I think, the least valuable of them all. I think the Switch version is the one you want, but PlayStation 4 also holds a little more value. But yeah, £13, not a bad return at all. Call of Duty World at War, £2. What else did we get in there? Pokemon, like a DVD, or was it a Blu-ray? That was also £2. And I think what you also saw on there was like a couple of DVDs, Lego Batman and Cat and Duckula. I'm trying to get Little Man into like the old school cartoons. Anybody remember Cat and Duckula out there? But yeah, so day one was a total of £1 spent and £22 value. Okay, so in this next clip, as you can see, I managed to find a few games that initially I thought, oh brilliant, I'll grab these. The first one was WWE 2K14. It's a great game. I spoke about it on my Hidden Gems videos in the past, but there's no value in it. The next one was Guitar Hero 3, and I was sure this had value, but again, it didn't. And the reason why, guys, you need to keep a lookout for the Xbox 360 version of this one. I think that one either sells for £3 or £5 trade-in at CEX. The PlayStation 3 one's relatively worthless, so I left it where it was. But what I did find was the Indiana Jones stroke Kung Fu Panda, I think it's the Lego 2-pack on the Xbox 360. I think this game actually trades in for about £3, but the strangest thing happened to me. When I took it to CEX, the person behind the counter was like, oh, the Kung Fu Panda disc isn't in it, it's just Indiana Jones. I was like, okay, no problem. I expected her to just hand it back to me. She said, what I've done is I've put it through the system as Indiana Jones on the Xbox 360. I was like, okay, and that's worth more. I was sure at the time it was like £7 trade-in value, so I was like very happy. But currently when I've like done my calculations to make this video, it's showing us £4. So in the interest of fairness, we're going to call it £4 because I can document that. So yeah, it was quite a nice surprise that there was a disc less, but I ended up getting a better deal out of it. And that takes our total to £1.50 spent and £26 worth of trade-in value.
Retro ghetto.
This next clip, I've put it in here. I didn't actually pick anything up, but I kind of had the blinkers on. I was using the CEX app. There was no value of anything in this charity shop, and it's a case of right on to the next one. But looking back, I wish I'd picked up that GT Pro Series for the Nintendo Wii, because I don't own it, and it's not something that you come across that often. So yeah, a little bit annoyed with myself there. Okay, so up until this point, it's all pretty standard, right? Found a few decent things, not spent much money, life's good. And then this happened, guys. I had an amazing find. And this is why you should always go into a charity shop. This is why I wanted to tell this story. I went into this particular shop in the morning and there was nothing new in there. Okay, no problem, I left the shop. Then I went back because my missus sent me out for milk. She's like, would you mind going out to get some milk? I said, yeah, all right. I knew the charity shop was close by. I thought I'll nip in, pop in. Anything changed? I know what I'm after. She said, something's just come in, a collection. I was like, okay. So I went in the back and this is what I found. So yeah, you can see how many games. I don't know how many games is here, 50, 60, 70, a lot. Predominantly Xbox 360. There was also some PlayStation 3 and a couple of Wii. But there was bags full. My eyes lit up. Thankfully, I've got a great relationship with this charity shop. They basically just said, look, pull up a chair in the back and go through it. So as you can see, I pulled up a chair. I was like a kid in a candy shop. I went through every single game, picking out the ones that I wanted for my own collection. And obviously also taking the ones that were of value that I could take to CEX. I bundled it all together and she basically said, look, just give me 20 quid. I think it was something like 23 games that I bought. She said, look, give me 20 quid. I said, brilliant, because I think the rest of it was going to eBay. It didn't even make it to the shop floor. So yeah, 20 quid later, and I picked up all of these games that you're seeing on screen now. I think the highest in terms of value on here was Fear 3. Binary Domains, also not bad. Minecraft, but it all sort of added up. But as I say, I spent £20 on this. The total CEX voucher price of that was £88.71. That takes our value of £21.50 spent and £114.71 trading credit CEX thus far. Okay, so my luck's now officially in. After finding that collection in one charity shop, this then happened. So I was in this shop and it's not uncommon to find sealed games in shops. Often it's sealed DVDs and Blu-rays, and I think what happens is larger corporations sometimes donate things to charity shops. Certain charity shops get things from certain larger companies, I assume. And they had a few sealed games. So as you can see, I looked at Red Dead Redemption 2. It was £10. It wasn't really worth buying. I already own it. I mean, if you need it, it's fantastic, right? If you want the game, £10, brilliant. What a game. And then there was like a couple of FIFAs, and they were like £5, but I think there was only like £5 trading, so it was like for like. But I don't know if they'd priced all the FIFAs up together, because there was 2 or 3 FIFA 21s, then there was one FIFA 2022. I just saw Kylian Mbappe smiling at me. I picked it up, it was £5. I got £26 trading value for that. So that was a great find. So that takes our total up to £26.50 spent and £140.70 and £140.70 in CEX trading value.
Retro Ghetto.
And then I had a couple of off-camera finds. I found a DVD complete full series set of My Family, which was a sitcom that aired here in the UK. I paid like £2 I think for that, and I think I got £13 trading. That's currently showing as £10 trading, so I think that's come down a little bit within the 2 weeks with CEX. Also managed to find Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City. This was a good find, this one. This has got the 2 DLCs, if you like, with it. The one you want to find is the one that's got the 2 DLC packs, but also has the full game. That's got like £10 trading value at CEX. But this is one that I needed, so that's going into the collection. Because these were off camera, I'm not including it into the list, but just thought I'd share with you guys anyway. Okay, so this clip is probably my most average day. This is like what tends to be more often than not. Either you don't find anything, or I get one of these kind of days where I find 2 games that are worth £5 each at CEX trading value, and they cost me about £1.50 each. So you spend £3 and you get £10 return in terms of credit. Those games were the Lego Harry Potter series. This was years 5 to 7. As I said, it cost me £1.50. It's £5 trading credit. And the other game was the Lord of the Rings Conquest. Exactly the same. £1.50, £5 trading credit. I wanted to put this in because it's just very, very average. This is what happens to me quite a lot. You either find nothing or you have a day like this. I'm more than happy to spend £3 to get a £10 return. And that takes our total up to £29.50 spent and £150.70 in trading value. Next, jackpot or not. This is one of them heartbreaking ones, right? A lot had just come in, I walked in, she knows what I'm after, go in the back, love, some stuff's come in. I was like, okay, brilliant, always music to my ears. Went in, took a look. Guys, I was so happy, I opened the bag. First thing I saw was Nintendo Switch Mario Kart. There was a couple of other Nintendo Switch games, a whole heap of like DS games. I'm thinking, yes, jackpot, right? There was no games in them, I was gutted. There's so many of all the Switch games were empty. Most of like the DS and stuff was empty. There was a few that you seen on camera now that did have the games in, but there was no real value. A couple that I could have picked up to make a tiny bit on. But to be honest, I've got a good relationship with the charity shop, and I just thought, you know what, stick these on eBay, love. I helped them out, gave them the values, because there was like a couple of consoles in there as well. I'm not a huge DS collector, so I basically helped her out with the value and said, yeah, go on, stick it on eBay. Okay, so this next clip that you're seeing had no value whatsoever, but as an Arsenal fan, I could not leave this behind. This was the Arsenal Club Football from the PlayStation 2. I didn't even know Arsenal had one. I always see the Man United one, which obviously people have discarded. But yeah, no value, not adding it to the list, but yeah, I was happy to find that.
Retro Ghetto.
Okay, I love this next find because this has happened to me a few times now. And I went into my local town to go to CEX to take in some of the stuff that you'd already seen me mention on this video. I went in, I got my credit note, and I left. Brilliant. I went into a couple of the local charity shops on the way out, and this is what I found. These were all priced at 50 pence each. There's obviously some collection that had been donated, maybe some child's collection, predominantly Lego. There was a Minecraft in there, which is like £10 trading value. And if there's anything that I've learned doing this, it's to always pick up Lego games and Minecraft games, no matter what the system. They always seem to hold their value. I spent £3 or 50 pence each, as I say, and a total of £30 trading credit. So I was back into CEX less than half an hour later, getting another £30 trading credit. That takes the total for this 2-week period of £32.50 spent, and we've received £180.70. That's not an amount to be sniffed at, is it? As I said to you at the start of the video, game hunting has become expensive. I could go and buy a Grail for £180, a rare SNES game, something I would take a lot of pride in owning and adding to these shelves behind me. That's why I do what I do, that's what drives me, that's why I love the hunt. I'm at a point now in my collecting that there's not really that many specific games that I need anymore. I do this because I love it. I love the wheeling and the dealing. I love going into the charity shops. And bear in mind, this is just video games. I'm also looking at toys, DVDs, Blu-rays. There's money out there. You just got to be prepared to get out there and do it on a daily basis. You got to be prepared to go in and get nothing day after day after day to find these things. As I say, you've seen how many clips? 10 clips maybe? Over a 13-day period, I've probably been to 30 plus charity shops in that time, maybe more. You're not going to find something every day, but when you do, it's worth it. And that's what keeps me going. I love the hunt, I love the pursuit. And yeah, like I say, £180, that's not to be sniffed at. I can't wait to show you guys what I'm going to do with that money. We've got a bit of a follow-up to this video plan as to what we're going to do with these vouchers. Also, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips soon on charity shops and how to hunt in there efficiently. I've learned quite a lot of things in recent times that have worked for me, and I'm going to share it with you guys, and hopefully you'll be able to find something in that list that will help you with your hunts in charity shops as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I say, it is something different. I don't tend to show you this side of things. I'm not predominantly a hunting channel, but as this is a large part of my life, I just wanted to share it with you and just basically give you an insight onto how I'm able to buy these games that you see behind me. I've had people in the comment section say to me things like, I can't believe you spent £150 on Phineas and Ferb, and I get that on the face of it. But it didn't cost me £150, and this is why. So I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, play your games, keep it retro. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
Retro Ghetto.